So we'll have that
Okay.
later today. So thank you everyone for attending this week's briefing. Um, this week's speaker is Marvin. He's a past alumni, and I had the great opportunity of working with him this summer during my Pathways internship at the NWS Phoenix office. So I will stop my share and I'll let Marvin take it away.
Okay. Howdy, how everybody's doing out there in State College. I'm going to go through kind of a little background of myself. Let me go ahead and start this PowerPoint. Is everybody seeing that?
It looks good.
Yep, good.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyways, here's a picture of downtown Phoenix, and you know, you guys out there don't get too many of these dust storms or monsoon. I think that's the main thing. That's what Salix came here for, although she didn't see much this year of the monsoon. So, anyways, I'll go ahead and start. A little bit of my background. I've been interested in the weather since I was 6 years old. I was actually born in Denver. I should say, actually, before I was six. I understand I was very fascinated with the weather when the South Platte River floods in 1965. And of course, Denver's got very interesting weather. Right now, they're in single numbers with snow. And yesterday, they were in a red flag warning, so they had some pretty crazy weather. So I guess it got me started. And I moved here when I was six, and I grew here up in the Phoenix area. Then I decided I wanted to go somewhere with a meteorology program, and I wanted to see snow. So I went to decided to go to Penn State, got my degree in earth science meteorology emphasis. And then I finished my coursework to qualify for the weather service at San Jose State University. That's in California in the Bay Area. I was a forecaster in the Air Force. Actually, I was stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico, and that's in Albuquerque. And then I worked in the private sector. It's ship routing. I don't know, some of the Penn State graduates have ended up at Ocean Routes. WNI is what they call. They were in Sunnyvale. Now they moved, I think, to Oklahoma City. I've been in the weather service since 2001. I started up in the polar opposite extreme, getting in the weather service in Fairbanks, Alaska. So I guess up there, instead of the long hot summers, we had the long cold winters. Saw temperatures as cold as minus 47. Pretty interesting up there for 3.5 years. And then I went to the Oakland CWSU, that's the Center Weather Service Unit. And that's where we're weather service meteorologists, but we do face-to-face DSS within the air route traffic control centers. There's 21 around the country. Up there, our biggest challenge was when the low clouds would clear from SFO Airport. And now I've been in Phoenix since 2012, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. So just kind of a background. Everybody's probably heard about Phoenix in our summer. Yes, it was hot here. We had the hottest summer on record. Our average temperature this summer was 96.7. So imagine that. I know you guys had, didn't you have a record warm July, or one of the hottest Julys on record? Right? Is that correct?
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds right. Well, imagine having an average temperature 96.7. So it was quite hot. It beat the previous record by over 1.5 degrees. So, anyways, just kind of a summary of what it was like here. Some of the records we've broken. One was the number of 90-degree days. Well, we haven't broken that yet. 1989 has the most, 196, but we broke the number of 95s, 167. Number of 100-degree days, 145. Number of 105-degree days, 102. And 110-degree days, we had 53 of them. So really 115. Imagine 14 days with temperature highs are at or above 115. I remember in State College it got above 90, and that just felt so oppressive. But I think I would have found that weather very, very nice this year, I guess. So, anyways, that's kind of a summary of the summer we went through here. And so I'm going to go on to the forecast, and actually, it's quite a bit different. So we actually, just as kind of a background, taking what we normally see. Normally, by the time we get to this time of year, we have temperatures in the mid 80s for highs and the low 60s for lows. And of course, the last month, if you look at the last month here in Phoenix up to today, it's been just like the summer. It's been well enough normal. You can see all these 100-degree days. Yesterday was or actually the day before yesterday was the first 80 or sub 90-degree day of the month, and yesterday we had 88. Well, today it's a whole different ball game today. If I can get this to come up here, let's see. Let's see. Where am I at? Why am I not getting my other one? Let me just close this out and see if I.
Yeah, I think your tabs are in your Zoom.
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay. Oops. Oh, there I am. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll start out here with the satellite, since we're kind of forecasting both State College and Phoenix today. The main thing is you've got a very deep trough in the west today. The origins of this trough, origin of this cold air, was up in the high Arctic. We have seen widespread temperatures well below zero right now over Montana, Wyoming, into Colorado. If you take a look, for example, at Denver right now, back to Denver, their temperature right now is 6 above zero. So a tremendous change here in the weather to much colder weather. And as a result, here in Phoenix, if we look at the current observation for Phoenix, it is now 64 degrees. 64 degrees. So I tell you what, that's a big change. And our low this morning, we may end up doing something very unusual for here. And that is that you see this all the time in State College, where you have a cold front and then the temperature, the high of the day is at midnight. Well, it looks almost certain we're going to do that. We're going to have a midnight high of 73, and the temperatures today are going to be stuck in the 60s. And that's very remarkable here, especially considering that we're going to have a really mostly clear skies. It had looked like that we were going to have a decent shot for rain. But if you look at the GFS here, you can see this cold air moving down. You can see a very low thicknesses, sub 540 thicknesses, moving into northern Arizona. It's snowing in Flagstaff now. They're at 7,000 feet. But anyways, this very strong front is pushing down into here, and we're looking at thicknesses. Of course, in State College, you always look for 540 thickness for snow. It's not that common to get the 540 thicknesses into Phoenix, but we're going to be doing that tonight. And so as a result, our temperatures in a matter of less than a day are going to be going from substantially above normal to well below normal. So just looking at the height anomalies here, you can see this very deep upper low here. And this is a GFS ensemble. We here in the Weather Service are going more and more to an ensemble-based forecast. So it is showing this this upper low dropping right into Arizona and tracking across it. Meanwhile, you guys there in Pennsylvania have some very warm height anomalies. Certainly, typically this time of year, you guys get your first snow flurries, sometimes even your first accumulating snow along the lake belts. Well, unfortunately, I don't see anything that in the cards there for you with this very high amplitude pattern here. This low is going to be dropping down and bringing us some very chilly temperatures. But then starting the middle and the latter part of the week, the heights built rather smartly back up. And you guys end up getting the colder weather. So anyways, a rather a topsy-turvy pattern here over the next several days. Again, looking at the operational GFS with this cold air and snow, this low here, and then of course we got Zeta here. That's a big story for the Gulf Coast. Let me just take a look at the National Hurricane Center forecast. So you can see there's a lot going on here. Let me see. I'll just do a search for National Hurricane Center. Just as a quick note here, they are expecting hurricane landfall there in Louisiana. So along with this very cold, very deep trough here in the west, we do have that hurricane affecting the Gulf Coast here over the next few days. Looks like the moisture from that hurricane could be impacting the northeast U.S. By this weekend. So your rather quiet weather might take a bit of a change. We'll just have to wait and see. So anyways, going on to more of the short-term forecast, some of the concerns here today, along with the cooler temperatures, are the winds and also the fire weather threat. You can see this morning some very strong northerly winds down the Colorado River Valley as this cold air drains from the Great Basin, as it typically does with these frontal passages. So we're looking at 20, 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds. We do have a here in our CWS in our forecast here. Let me go back to us to Phoenix here. We do have a red flag warning for that region, and the reason is not only do we have the winds, but we have some very dry air moving into the region. If we look at the dew points, extremely low dew points, a very sharp gradient dew points right now in Phoenix itself. Let's see, the dew point is the dew points are actually in the low 40s, but if you go just to the west in the west side of town, Buckeye, we're showing dew point of 9. So we're just talking over 20 miles. So we've got this very, very dry air that's going to be moving down along with the winds. Our criteria for red flag here is humidity is less than 15%. So we're looking at definitely the threat. Fortunately, unlike some of the other areas of the country, there isn't a lot to burn out there, but still any fires that do start certainly have the potential of spreading very rapidly. So that'll be our main weather issue here, aside from the temperatures. And then going back into here, along with the temperatures is, of course, the cold. Taking a look at the NBM, you guys may not think of this as very cold, but we're looking for lows in the 40s tonight, in the upper 40s tonight, tomorrow night, and that's quite a bit below normal. As I had shown earlier, our normal low is 61. Records around here, daily records, are in the low to mid 40s. So it's interesting that we're going to be approaching those, which is quite unusual given the urban heat island here. It's really tough to get temperatures to get very low anymore. So one of the things I do is that I live in one of the outlying areas, and I'll go back to the map of Phoenix here. Here's Phoenix. I live in a suburb called Queen Creek, and tonight we are looking for, if we go closer in here, we're looking temperature low of 36 tonight. So imagine this, just a few days ago we were in the 90s, and now we're tomorrow morning in the town there it's going to be in the mid 30s. So it's going to be colder there than you guys are going to be seeing in State College. If I go to State College, you guys have got lows in the 40s. So some pretty dramatic change in the weather here. Now on to the NBA and viewer here. We do have these cooler temperatures, but then we rebound. As I showed earlier, the pattern kind of shifts back to where it's been for the last several months, with high pressure kind of dominating the weather in the west, and you guys in the east getting back to the colder temperatures. So we're actually looking for temperatures getting above around 90 by the early part of next week. So back to the warm weather again. Unfortunately, our record for the month of November is 96. So that's for the record for the month. So we're it's definitely a topsy-turvy weather. You guys, on the other hand, here, you're actually a little more stable. I guess temperature of highs near 60 today, and then 50. So, and then cooling down. So rather unremarkable weather-wise in comparison to us, which is kind of unusual. So, that's kind of what we're looking at in both places. So what I did was I did a graphic here of Phoenix versus State College here, and here's a forecast here. High today, again, our morning high is 73. Temperatures basically stuck in the low 60s. And when you consider with the sunshine that we're going to be expecting today, to keep temperatures stuck in the low 60s today is very unusual. And then lows tonight 46, high tomorrow 67. You guys on your going to be kind of cloudy, got some light showers there, kind of unsettled. Kind of your typical fall weather, a little on the warm side, 58, and a low tonight 43, and a high tomorrow of 55. So so interesting, kind of interesting that here in Phoenix we actually have more interesting weather than you guys do in State College. It's kind of interesting. Toward the end of the week, it looks like you guys look like you're turning colder. And so more normal. And then later on into next week, it looks like if we look at the ensemble here, it looks like your height anomalies drop, become below normal, and perhaps you guys will be looking at some chances of your more typical snow flurries here. Lake effect snow maybe by the early part of next week. So that's kind of it in the forecasts here. If anybody's got any questions, I can talk to you more about what it's like here in Phoenix, here in the Weather Service. One of the things I did want to show is our county warning area. I welcome any questions about the Weather Service. Let me just pull up a map of the Weather Service. There's 122 forecast offices. You can see our area here extends from southeast California all the way through southwest and south central Arizona. So we have some pretty high elevation areas. And one thing I forgot to mention is out in Globe, where they're about 3,500 feet. We've got a freeze warning there tonight. They could be looking at the first freezing temperatures of the season. So we have a wide range of climate, microclimates here, elevations ranging from below sea level in El Central to 7,700 feet on the higher peaks around Globe. So um, you might think of Phoenix as kind of boring and hot, but if you come out here, we definitely have a variety of weather, our challenges, and our main one is our monsoon, our s- our thunderstorms. In terms of west of the Rockies, we probably have some of the most active severe weather. Maybe not in the kind of context as what you might see in the Great Plains in the Midwest with the supercells, the tornadoes, and large hail, but more in line with flash flooding here, microbursts, dust storms. So it's certainly it's very different from what most of you probably experienced or used to out there, but certainly would be an interesting place to be. And certainly being in a weather service, just about anywhere is interesting. So I guess what I'll do is stop sharing here, and if anybody's got any questions for me or anything like that about what it's like in a weather service or being here in Phoenix or whatever, so I'll just go ahead and stop here. So you can go on Salix if you got anything.
Yeah, if you guys just want to use the chat, if you have any comments, or the Q&A function, I'll just let you know, Marvin, that State College should have the hottest summer as well, with an average temperature of 73.5, which the old record was 73 degrees Fahrenheit, and also really dry too. And we're still kind of experiencing the impact of the drought here in State College. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Did that affect your fall colors? Usually, dry weather, I think, makes them earlier and more vibrant. Is that correct? Um, if I but I saw some videos and stuff like that. It looked like it was a very beautiful fall there
Yes,
in
we did
terms of.
have a very vibrant fall foliage this year, which was nice because I know since I've been in Pennsylvania, we've had some more dim fall foliage seasons. So
Yeah, yeah, because I know rain and wind tend to strip the leaves off the trees, but here in Arizona, you don't get too much here in Phoenix of fall foliage, but in the mountains, Flagstaff it's already past peak there with their aspen, and some of the other areas like Payson will be getting into their peak season there too. So we do have our fall colors. Like I say, we have climatic range here in Arizona from Mexico. You can drive and go from climates Mexico in 3 hours to a climate of Nome, Alaska. If you went to go to Flagstaff, and then there's a ski area called Snowbowl, which right now looks like it looks like southeast Alaska up there, and the tops of it are alpine tundra. So you can go from a climate that you'd experience in Sonora, Mexico, all the way up to Nome, Alaska in 3 hours. So pretty tough to do that in State College. So yeah. So,
does anybody else have any other comments or questions for Marvin?
We'll see. It's hard to see this far out right now. The forecast is for like near 90.
If not, then I can go ahead and end the meeting. Thank you so much, Marvin. It was great to see you over Zoom, obviously, but I hope you have a good rest of your week. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Our weather briefing next week will be done by Dave Dombeck from AccuWeather.
from AccuWeather, yeah, Dave Dombeck. I think he was a student when I was in school there too. So, and then of course Elliot Abrams, I knew him. He used to work on Weather World. He did does he do Weather World sometimes?
Anymore? I could be wrong. I'm not super involved with Weather World, but he did do one of our things about a month ago. So.
Marissa,
okay.
I noticed Marissa Ferger is still on the attendee list. Maybe Marissa knows the last time that Elliot Abrams was on, because I don't think he's been on since I've been here at Penn State. Okay, he's no longer on. Well, yeah, he doesn't appear regularly.
Is the Weather World still done there from the sixth floor of the Walker Building every day?
It's on the fifth floor, but yeah, I mean, with COVID restrictions, it's a little bit different, but they still record everything on the
They
physical.
still
Yep.
Yeah, on the PBS station. And then as far as the campus weather service, you still have a radio element?
Yeah.
Do you call
So,
the stations and they record your forecasts?
yeah, we still do radio hits. We actually just are starting to get a brand new client, so that'll be cool for us. And then with COVID, it's been difficult getting videos, but thanks to Christopher over here and our head of communications, Jacob, we're able to kind of do a virtual video and completely do videos from home while still being able to access some of our graphics. So that's been really nice. Still being able to get the experience that way and provide videos for our different clients throughout the State College area. But
Yeah, because we used to do the radio stations in like northern and central Pennsylvania too, in Bradford, Kane, you know, Du Bois, Altoona. You still do that with the local radio stations?
they're not as spread out, I don't think, anymore.
Mm.
So
Or do you have bigger markets? Do you have bigger markets? Are you in Philly now or Pittsburgh?
I wish.
yeah, that
Oh,
would be
no, not yet, huh? You're not on KYW yet, huh?
yeah, our current slate of radio clients includes Black Forest Broadcasting, which is an internet radio station up in Du Bois, Juniata County Radio, Huntington Community Radio is our new client that Salix was just mentioning. We'll be getting started with them, I think, in the next 2-ish weeks. I'm still working out the details with our head of communications on that. We also provide forecasts to the Lion 90.7 FM. That's the student-run station here on campus.
Yeah.
And we have a live interview every weekday at 7:30 Eastern with WGRC FM down the road from us in Lewisburg. And I am forgetting one, Salix. Who am I forgetting?
Could be a morning one because I haven't done those in a while.
Actually, you know what? I think I got them all. BFB, JCR, GRC, HCR's new.
And then we have our website tag too. So that just goes along with our forecast that's on our website. So.
Oh, okay. Great.
About 5 radio hits for the afternoon shift.
So that's good. Yeah. We used to come in like morning and then like midday and then afternoon and do different shifts for them and everything. So I guess that hasn't changed too much in almost 40 years.
Yep. Maybe clients, but still going in. Well, I guess not anymore going into the actual office, but yeah.
Yeah. But you're involved in more in videos now too, and not just audio recordings. So
yeah, we have like our YouTube page and our website gets updated. Right now, we used to do it 3 times a day. Now it's just in the afternoon and evening. And then we also do videos for CNET, and then which is like the local cable. And then we have ties with the Center County Report, which is the College of Communications broadcast. And we're not doing online videos for them this semester, but we do have a live like show on Tuesdays and Fridays that we have students from Campus Weather Service too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I also mentioned here in Phoenix, we have a pretty low. It depends, I know, from market to market and city to city. I know some of them, weather service offices, sometimes in some markets, like I've been told, like Kansas City, that the markets find us as competition. But here in Phoenix, we have a very close relationship with the both the broadcast, the print, and the TV media. That we get interviews a lot all the time. I don't know if everybody's still on here, but more about just a personal thing. When I was growing up and I wanted to be in weather, people always said, "Did you want to be on TV?" And I always said, "Oh no, I'm going to the wrong school." I said I would have to go to LA and get my what be on studio or something like that. You know, because in the past, in the Weather Service, we used to, type the zone forecasts and the warnings out and send them out, and we were kind of like the back office, so to speak. But that's really changed. So, we have a lot more media exposure than we used to say 20 years ago, for sure, and it's really changed. So it's good that you guys are getting more involved in this sort of thing. And, I know some of the private sector companies were more involved in media, like AccuWeather and stuff like that, but we are now much more involved too, depending on the market. So that's great. Salix was out here. You did your share of stuff here. You did a great job on a balloon video here.
Thank you. Yeah, I noticed
Yeah,
that you guys have a lot of connections with the media, which I think is really great that you can provide them with a lot of information about the weather and the climate, especially in terms of this summer even being the hottest one on record in Phoenix. But we do tell everyone in Campus Weather Service, regardless if you want to just go into the private sector or public sector or operational forecasting, at least having at least one communication shift under your belt is helpful because you kind of need to know how to speak and convey the weather effectively, regardless of what sector you end up being in. So,
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. And in social media as well, becoming more important. Facebook, Twitter. I think we're actually going to start up some sort of Instagram account here too. I'm not familiar exactly, but some I was told that we were going to be doing something there, so in the near future. So, anyways, yeah. So if anybody's got any questions there, that again about the Weather Service Western Region, a place is very different. I don't know about the State College office, what they're like. I've always wanted to visit it, and I hope you guys have an opportunity to visit a Weather Service office. Um, and whatever, and it would be good. And like Salix doing the pathways or the student volunteers or whatever you can do to get yourself started and your foot in the door. So, anyways, um, another thing I know, getting into weather services is quite a challenge. Some of the other pathways getting into there, like I did, I was in the military. Uh, the military is not a bad way to go. It gets you your veterans preference into there, and that can be very helpful too. So, anyways, if you have any questions, just give us a holler. I mean, holler does if anybody's got any questions now, let me know.
mhm, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Marvin. If anybody has any questions for me, I can also just direct them to you as well.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that. Perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to stop the recording now.